Hi, welcome back to our how-to video series. In today's video, we're going to be showing you how to connect your unit to your mobile device and set up a mission in Q ground control. So what you're going to need for this is your Discovery unit and your ground station plugged in and powered on, and of course a mobile device like a tablet or a laptop that can run and support Q ground control. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll go down here to our Wi-Fi, and we're going to want to connect to our unit. So ours is connect number 7, but yours may be 20 or 30 or whatever it may be. So we'll click connect. Now you notice it's just going to kind of sit here and process and try to connect. That's perfectly fine. It doesn't have internet, so it's either going to sit here and look like it's connecting, or it's going to say connected no internet. Both should work for us. So once we're connected there, we can come up here and we'll hit the top left corner twice till we find comm links. We're going to add that. So we need to add our drone. We name ours Discovery, but you may have a different name for yours, and that's perfectly fine. We're going to click a TCP connection, but we'll leave both those boxes unchecked. And we're going to put in our IP, which is 192.168.1.30, and our port, which is 4200. Now, if your settings look like that, you should be able to just hit OK. We'll come here, and now at this point, you should already have your drone and your ground control, ground station plugged in. They're going to need a few minutes to boot up and everything. So once you've done that, you can hit connect to your drone, and you should see a green bar sliding across. Now the Wi-Fi connection will be a little different on a tablet. You'll have to go to your settings instead of just right down here in the bottom right corner. And the bar might look a little different, but other than that, everything in these programs will be just the same. There we go, it says we're connected. Now this One Compass primary, it comes up every time. It's not actually something we utilize on our platform, which is why it comes up as an error. So we'll come over here to our mission. We see this is the last mission that was actually on the drone, and the one we build today is going to be very similar. So we're going to come over here to File, and we will hit Survey. And it says, are you sure you want to remove the current plan? Yes, we do. And so notice our mission start, we'll set it at 50. That's what the altitude we typically use. It's 165 feet or so above the ground. Works well for covering or going over trees and all that. So our takeoff should auto-populate to 50. Our survey, we're going to want to click basic to bring up a nice square. Now we can change this to whatever size we need. So let's say, we want to survey this forested area down here. So I'll bring the top of the box kind of down, get things adjusted to where we want them. Move this over here, and we'll grab this last point here. Now, one thing you can do is you can actually bring out like more points. So if you needed to, say you needed to cover this little box right here, we can move that like that, and we'll add one more over here and put that up there. And so, you have this little outcropping here. Now we typically don't, do this. It's usually more efficient just to overfly than it is to do a little box. But say it was a restricted area or something like that, and they didn't want you flying over their property, this is a great way to get right up to the line. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove these because we don't need them. And we can remove this one too. There we go. Got our nice square again. So notice we're at 19 minutes here. Typically we plan these out to be about 14 minutes long. So there's 17. We're going to see what we can do with rotating our point to get it down a little bit. So we'll hit done with the polygon. So notice we're running 10 meter spacing. So for an open area like this one up here, we could run our 50 meter spacing no problem and cover a lot of ground. But with this dense vegetation, we're going to want to go ahead and bump it down to about 10, 15, 20. You're just going to have to decide what works for you, depending on the vegetation you're in. So now we'll come over here, and we're going to rotate our entry point and see if we can get our numbers down. Yeah, see, now we're down to a 13-minute flight time because we chose a more efficient entrance and exit. So now we'll come here, we can adjust our angle. So right now we're running left to right here. But say we had a box that was taller up and down, we could go to like a 0 angle and get a more efficient flight out of it. So we'll pop down here back to 90 like we were. And now we're done with this. So we'll upload. And the reason that GPS glitch came up, we have our drone set right next to a building. So we're getting GPS issues. There we go. It cleared itself. So now we're ready to go. We uploaded it. Now we need to download. So we're going to wait about 10 seconds because after we upload, the processor on board is actually going to take the mission, figure out what it means, and then it's going to process it and change it and add some calibration points at the beginning and end. So after about 10 seconds or so, we can download it. You'll see a bar come across here. There we go. There's our mission. So notice our launch point. We're right up here by our headquarters. And we come over here. We go to waypoint number 1 is under the 9. And we're going to come out to 4, go forward to 7, back to 9, and then continue the mission. That's our front calibration. And at the end, we're going to go very to the end, and then come back to 53, and then go to 55. So there's like a 51 under there somewhere. You want to make sure both of those are present before you launch the drone because the calibration is important to the accuracy of the data that we're retrieving. And another note is, the closer you launch to your pattern, the less flight time you're using, the larger area you can travel. So that's just sometimes it's better to move your ground station and move to wherever your grid is than it is to stay in one spot and keep sending missions out. Another thing you want to make sure is that you're going to be able to see the drone the whole time. You want to make sure you have a high point out here that you can see it over the trees or something like that to fulfill the visual line of sight qualifications of 107. But this looks like a good mission. We're ready to go. We'll click up here, and that's going to send us to the flight tab. And we only have one battery plugged in, so we got a low battery there. And so now you'll turn on your transmitter, and once your transmitter's on and connected and everything, we'll just slide to confirm, and that starts the mission. Thanks for watching, and tune into the rest of our videos to learn how to use your Discovery unit even better.